Hi there, hello and welcome. It's been a while. I apologize for the delay of this video because lots of things happen. Before we jump into the gameplay, a few things. First, I recorded this back in January before the NAM 47 updates. So in this video, you will see me using Petmals only for commercials and industries. And there are some missing footage in this video because my disk was full and there are some technical issue when I'm editing this video. So I'm really sorry for that. And I'll put the details about the build, links, mods, pictures, and timestamp in the description and pin comment of this video. So make sure to check them later. And now let's jump into the gameplay. Alright, so this is where we left from the previous part. We got this nice small town surrounded by farms. And moving up here near the edge of the map, we have some high-tech industries. And down here, we got small town center with some commercials and apartment buildings. And as for the area down here, I did some development of camera and generate from dirty and manufacturing industry into a little bit mix of everything really. So maybe I can give you guys a little bit of quick tour of this area. For this diagonal, we got some low density residential houses with a nice Firefox billboard here. And let's rotate the screen. Up here we got a mixed area. So we've got some commercials buildings, residentials, and some high-tech industries buildings. And moving on here, we got some small houses with some farms. And up here, we got some big apartment buildings housing hundreds of sims. And moving across the roads here, we got some nice medium houses. Up to the center here, we've got a block of commercial buildings. Also, we've got a gravity guy here on this building. We can't see it from this side, but you see here, he's working on his masterpiece. Yeah, looks nice, so let's just leave him be and move on. To this side we got a high-tech industry building, and this one is the light factory, another high-tech industry. We also got some more high-well residential buildings, and up here we got some nice looking high-well commercial buildings, and they provide a lot of jobs for our sims. Another high-tech industry, and this one commercial building, which I really like the design of it. Also more high-well residential buildings. And right here by the canal, we've got a temple area. I actually made a reloads for this canal. I replaced the trees with Neko seasonal cherry trees, so it will have some fallen leaf effect on fall and spring, and they looks really pretty. Let's have a look at the one nearby the stations. Rotate the view and speed up the game until spring. And voila, when it's spring, we've got this white pinkish tree with the leaves scattered on the ground. And I think they are really pretty. And yeah, let me know if you guys interested in this canal reloads. I might publish it so you guys can have it in your game. So yeah, that's it for this whole area, and right now we are currently sitting on a little bit over 1k profit per month with 11,000 sims, and we've got 2.8 million simoleons. And currently we don't have enough demands to create commercials and industries boom. And I'm not planning to turn this initial area into some high density residential buildings. So for the next step, I'm thinking we need to expand and build a new area so we can bring more Sims into our city. And I'm planning to expand to the up here. Well, I already prepared this small village with houses and small shops and all the basic needs provided. We also got this small farm that provide jobs for this area, and this area will be like our boundary for the new area that we are going to build here. So let's start by connecting these two roads. So I split this road to make it looks like an avenue, and we can fill the middle tile with basically anything. And I prepare another reloads of rural canal mods with cherry tree specifically for this. So let me show you. This canal mods made by MIS71, and I just replaced the trees with the Neko cherry trees. Let's speed up a bit so the trees will show up. And I think this layout is pretty versatile because you can put anything in the middle tile. For example, you can put like probably a bus stop right here, and it will have access to both sides of the roads. You can also place some pet malls, and it will encourage more pedestrians since it's faster for the Sims to just walk across the tile. And you can also just put a one by one small park or a plaza. And for this, I also prepare a reloads of park with Neko cherry tree. And so far, this one is my favorites. Now let's fast forward to the spring to see how it looks like. We obviously need some power, so let's connect some power lines just to get rid of the icons. And continue speed up the game. So this is going to be the overall looks of this layout, and we are going to extend this layout all the way to down here along these main roads, and we are going to zone alongside the roads with some high density towers, and maybe we can even get some skyscrapers later. So for now, let's continue finishing this canal. Alright, now that we are done with the roads, let's talk about zones. So I'm planning to fill the area along the main roads here with some high density residential buildings and turn it down to medium and low density as we are going outwards. And we are going to fill the outskirts area with industries and farms. So that way, hopefully we can create traffics from the middle area going outwards, which are good for our commercials. So with that in mind, let's extend these railways so we can provide transport for our industries. Alright, now when you zone your industries or farm, it's better if possible to have at least one tile directly touching the rails, like this for example, because this way the building can transport the goods right away without needing the access to a freight station. And this could be really useful when you have a really tight space that you want to use for other buildings. Let me proceed a little bit and I'll show you what I mean by that. As you can see here, the industry can just access the rails right away and doesn't need to send the goods to the station first, so the freight just go directly like that. And also when zoning commercial or industry, I like to put some pet malls in between the buildings and the roads just to give some breathing room for the area, especially when I'm expecting a big tower in the area like this one here. And it also works for industries if it doesn't need road access to transport their goods. So let's do it here. And now with that in mind, let's zone this whole area. Alright, so for this area, I'm planning to have some kind of New York Town Square with a tram station and lots of parks and decorations. And the layout of this area here will need some adjustment. So let's take care of it now before continuing the zone. Yeah, so this is the layout for the town square. We'll fill the area and place the parks and decorations later. For now, let's continue with the zones. Alright, now we zones most of the area except for the one nearby this tram station. But before we actually start the simulation, since this area is pretty huge and we are going to grow all these zones at once, so I'm thinking of placing some rewards buildings just to boost the growth in this area. And we also need to finish this tram network along this main road first, because it's going to be a hassle to build it later when the buildings already grown, especially for these diagonal roads, because we might need to destroy the buildings that already grown. So let's take care of it now, starting with the rewards building first. Now, to build the tram and road network, there are two options available. First, you can use this elevator rail and plop it on top of the road like this. You can also drag it, but only for 2 tiles. And this only works for straight roads and corner. So it's not going to work for intersections and diagonal like this. Well, for intersection, you can destroy it first, plop the elevator rail, and then reconnect the intersection. But I prefer using the second method, which is using this tram and road puzzle piece. So I'm going to continue the rest of the network using the puzzle piece. Alright, now that we are done with the tram network, and I also place the tram stops along the tracks. Last thing that we need to take care of is this area around the tram station here. So since I'm planning to have like a New York Times Square, but with lots of parks and decorations, we'll fill the area with commercial zones. And I don't really have a plan for the layout yet, so let's just do whatever and see if it works. Let's connect a street for this area and use pet malls for this side. And maybe we can change the street styles into a more vibrant colors. So we go with the red one. And let's put our commercial zones. And we can fill the rest of the space with pet malls and parks. And let's do it for this side as well. We can use different density for some of these zones. I was planning to have some small shops along this row, but I think it will be prettier to just place some suburban canals with the cherry trees instead. So let's go with that. Let's also add some bridges. And we're done. And now that's done, let's start with the decoration for this tram station. First, we'll need some bus stop for this area, and we want to go with lots of variation for the decorations, just so it won't be boring. So I'm just going to go with whatever parks and decorations that I have in my menu, but make sure that we don't block the view for the track, because we want to see the tram going through the station. Let's place this small plaza. Also this London Bus fish and chip stand. And let's place lots of cherry tree parks so that the area will be so pretty when it's spring. I'm going to use another cherry tree parks just to add some variations. Let's also add this nice one box square. And maybe a statue would look good in this area. Let's place it on the other side instead, so it won't block the view. Let's place this plaza again. And alright, I think it's good enough. Let's finish up placing the cherry tree parks and fix the suburban canals that we destroyed before. And last, let's clean up the pet malls to have a more suitable looks for the area. think we're pretty much done with all the preparation works. After all, we're going to revisit most of this area when we're doing detailing works later. So for now, let's start the simulations and watch our city grows in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, now that most of the zones are developed, I would like to grow specific buildings for some of these zones. For example, like this one here, I would like to have an Eclipse Tower by maybe 3 to 5 here. And to do that, we can place lots of parks to boost the growth around this area here. And I'm going to use this cherry tree parks, and we are going to place it all over this area here, just temporarily until we get the building that we want. And as you can see, it's already taken effect. Even all the buildings nearby also grew bigger, and it's not what we expect here, but I do want this building here, so I'm going to preserve it. Also this one too. Alright, let's try again for this zone. Also, let's limit the options of the building styles to be specific to the building that we want to grow. In this case, the Euro style. This way, we'll have a better chance to get a specific building for these zones. And let's try again. Hopefully, we can get what we want. Not this one. Also, not this one. Alright, there you go. The Eclipse Tower by maybe 3 to 5. And provide 1700 high-roll jobs for our Sims. And we can rezone this area with some commercials. And then let's work on details for this small area beside the building here. Maybe we can add another bus stop here, and maybe some more parks for the corner up here. One with the cherry blossom trees, and another one with the one box. And then let's add the bus stop on the corner here, just like that. And last, let's change the variant of the pet malls. Yep, I think that should be good. Now that we are done with this, let's move on to another area. Alright, we got this nice looking green buildings here, and I'm thinking maybe we can move it to the side here, because this one is blocking the view behind it. So let's try grabbing it on this side instead. Let's use the cherry tree parks and speed up the game. Let's see here, we got this nice icon Valarta building, and let's try again. Alright, there we go. Now that we got it, I'm not sure yet if I want to destroy one of these. So for now, let's just rezone this area. And now that we are done here, let's work on another zones in our city. Okay, we are pretty much done with the build, and if we take a look at the stats, we are now with over 6k profits per month, and we managed to get over 20k sims more into our city. So I think we are doing pretty good. And now, before I showcase the whole area, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy it, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It helps me a lot actually. So yeah, I'll see you on the next one, and bye bye.